Hi, I want to tell you a little bit about Flox, the command line interface that's a virtual environment and package manager in one. Flox lets me create environments, and those environments layer and replace dependencies just where it matters, making the environment portable across my software lifecycle as well as across mine and my coworkers' machines as we work on the same projects together. I like to use Flox first and foremost to work on my software projects. So to show you that, let me switch into a really simple front-end project where I can use Flox to create an environment. I can apply the suggestion it offers. And since this project is a Yarn project, it found Yarn metadata and it installed Yarn for me. And of course, I can activate that project and this will put that software in my path. It'll make it available at the exact version. And then it runs a initialization script that it wrote for me to install my Yarn dependencies. And then I can just start my server and do my development. Now, of course, this is a really simple example. There's lots of tools that can provide Yarn, but just to show you that this one works, here you go. You can see I'm running my development server. I can make changes and go from there. But Flox is more than just installing runtimes for various tools. I can Flox search and install things that I need in my operating system as well. For example, I might need make cert to generate certificates for my web server. So I can Flox install that. Maybe I need a lower level dependency like glibc. I can install things like that. Or maybe I need another runtime entirely, or a Redis cluster, or Python, or Ruby, or Rails, or whatever. It has a lot of these different languages inside of it, and it makes it really easy to install them. You can also show different versions of various dependencies with the show command. And this will show me all the different versions that are available today in Flox. And every new day, we get new versions inside of Flox from a wealth of upstream that comes from the world's largest package manager in Nix packages. So this is really great. The environment is more than just what you install to it. There's a declarative format as well. This declarative format, you can see there's my yarn and make cert, but I also have an ability to set environment variables. I can write a bash script to activate the environment that works across platform. So this can do the things like running yarn to install my dependencies, but also maybe setting any files in any known locations or staging everything appropriately. And then finally, I have a profile section that lets me write shell-specific profiles, maybe write some aliases, and combine a lot of what you might be using something like make plus the software to give you that deterministic environment. You'll notice at the bottom, the Flox environments are cross-platform. And so you can install specific software for specific systems, and every environment should work across all of the different Unix-based systems of your choosing. So that means Windows subsystem for Linux all the way through to both flavors of Mac and everything in between. So that's the declarative side, and this is a great way to use a project. Once I have my environment, I can check it in with my code, and this means as I advance with the versions of software, my code tells me exactly which version of Yarn I should be using, and I can just check out an old version and then Flox activate, and I'll have everything that I need. And that's really, really cool. But really superpower of Flox is that you can layer and combine these environments however you want. And so if I run the floxems command, you'll see I'm not just getting my project environment, I'm getting a special default environment just for me. So if I flox list what's in that default, I'll use my GitHub handle and type the word default. You'll see that I'm getting all the tools I need to do development, such as Vim or my Git or GH command line, plus a couple of tools like Telnet and inet utils and GPG from, for doing my encryption. So you can install anything you want. This is just my personal list, but for example, if my company has a development context, I can go ahead and activate the development context and switch all my environment variables and the software over to using development. That's all as easy as just Flox, activate -R and some environment. So very, very easy to add context to any situation, even if it doesn't travel with the project. This also makes it really easy to experiment with new tools. So for example, if you want to get the OpenAI CS command line, you can just Flox activate an environment that has that OpenAI toolkit, try it out and see if you want to use it in your project and then add it in later. So very, very easy to use environments in both contexts. We're really excited about the 1.1 because we're bringing a wealth of back history to the Flox catalog. So if I use this Flox show command for something like curl, you see we have lots of versions of curl across years of history, and it's very easy to search and install just like you would with any other package manager. So give Flox a try. You can see our website peeking in back here. It's a free command line utility. You can just download for the platform of your choosing and get started, or install with something like Homebrew or whatever it is your package manager of choice would be to get software. We hope you give us feedback and let us know what you think. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.